Howdy guys, it's Anarchy and welcome back to another episode of Together We Design, the video series all about graphic design made by designers for designers. Today we're going to start with one of the fundamentals of art and design, and that is color theory. We're going to learn what it is, where it came from, how to use it, and why you should use it. Often I see when people are coming up with colors to use for graphics or doing the beginnings of brand creation, they end up stumped on what colors to use, and often the combinations they might come up with are not very good. And once I think people learn a little bit more about color theory and how you can pick colors that go together, you'll know what looks good and you won't have to ask other people or wonder what could have been if you had not picked not good colors. Okay, onwardly. What exactly is color theory? So, color theory is a term that's used for a set of guidelines or rules regarding the use of colors and color combinations in art and design. This is so you can create a color scheme for a design that is both appealing aesthetically as well as gets the point across of the graphic effectively in some way, shape, or form. And this originates from the creation of the color wheel by the renowned physicist Sir Isaac Newton. He did this by splitting white sunlight into beams of red, orange, yellow, green, cyan, and blue. And the two ends of the spectrum of light were joined together to show the natural progression of colors from one to the next. Ever since, there have been many variations of the color wheel, and this is where the categories of colors come from. So now the color wheel and the colors are split into three different categories. This might be the part you learned about in, say, elementary school art class or something similar, because that's where I learned it. So the first category of colors are primary colors, of which they can't be created by mixing any other colors together. These are red, blue, and yellow. They're called primary colors because by using these, you can create any of the other colors on the color wheel. This brings us to our second category, which are secondary colors. Secondary colors are the colors that you get when you mix together the primary colors. So orange is created by mixing yellow and red, purple is created by mixing red and blue, and then green is created by mixing blue and yellow. It's very simple. The third category is tertiary colors, which you get by mixing a primary color and a secondary color. And so this is the in-between colors, or the intermediary colors. So these would be like teal, violet, and like the yellow orangey colors that you get in like a pack of colored pencils or so. Now that we know the colors and we've familiarized ourselves with what they are and how you make them, we're now going to move on to how to create pleasing color schemes with them. Having a pleasing color scheme is what can be described as harmony. Harmony is defined as the quality of forming a pleasing and consistent whole. In our case, this would be putting together a group of colors that both mean something visually and let the people on the receiving end of the graphic or design feel something. Otherwise, if it's not a good combination of colors, whoever's on the receiving end of it might feel that the art is boring, or it's not good looking, or it's lacking something. The way to find harmony in terms of using color combinations is using the color wheel, and here they are. The first color combination is analogous. An analogous color scheme is one that uses colors next to each other on the color wheel. Usually this is three, with one of them, for the most part, being the dominant color. For example, this would be like using blue, green, and teal, or using yellow, yellow, orange, and orange. This leads us to our second color scheme, which is called complementary. A complementary color scheme is one that uses colors directly opposite from each other on the color wheel. A common one that you'll see both in design or art and also in nature is a green and purple combination. Other examples could be blue and orange or yellow and violet though as well. The third combination is a split complementary color scheme. This color scheme is one that uses a combination of both complementary and analogous colors. This would be like using red and orange, which are next to each other, and then mixing that with a blue across from them, or say a green and teal color scheme with purple splashed in as well. The fourth color scheme is triadic. Triadic color schemes are ones wherein the colors are equally spaced away from each other on the color wheel. So if you were to put, say, an equilateral triangle on the inside part of the color wheel, and that's a triangle where all the sides are equal, by moving the points on this triangle, you could get colors to use for your color scheme. A prime example of this are the primary colors, red, yellow, and blue, as they are all equally spaced away from each other on the color wheel. A less basic example of this would be purple, green, and orange, which is actually the colors that are often used to represent Halloween. So that's how you get Halloween colors. They are a triadic color scheme. The last guideline that we have for you are tetradic. Tetradic color schemes are those where you use 2 sets of complementary pairs to create a 4-color color scheme. This would be like taking blue and orange, which are across from each other on the color wheel, and mixing that with a green and red across from each other as well. This would definitely be something you'd use if you were looking to use a lot of colors for a big project, or you wanted something that's busy and you want to have a bunch of colors in it. And these are a few things you can use to generate color schemes. So now that we know how to do that, our next question is why? Sure, these guidelines exist, but why use them? Well, the answer is, color theory exists because the combination of colors that we can create evokes something in people. Most likely, a color scheme you like has been created by some use of color combinations derived from color theory. These are the most effective ways to communicate a thought, or an opinion, or feeling, so why not use them when it's available to you? So that is going to mark the end of this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something new. I won't lie, I definitely learned something new myself, and that's really the point of this whole exercise as stated in the last episode. We're going to grow as artists together. Be sure to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to catch the next episode coming at you soon. Thank you, and goodbye.